All right, Jane, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you so much. I apologize, everyone. Looks like my computer decided to reboot on me as I started class. So thanks for sticking around, everyone. Better late than never. Let's go ahead and release today. So we're going to grab our lacrosse ball and we're going to start on the floor here today. So we're going to target glutes and then we'll target our mid spine for today. So if you tend to get any of those stress areas there, this is going to really come in handy. So just make sure you have somewhere on the floor, a mat, somewhere carpeted that you feel comfortable being on the floor here. And how we'll begin is actually, let's just go ahead and set our spine up like this. So I'm just going to place my feet flat on the floor and I'm just going to lay onto my back here. And I'm just going to take a few breaths in and out. And this trying to prepare ourselves for some of this rolling. So this is usually taught by Angie. She's out for today. My name is Nick, helping you out with a little bit of some rolling in the glutes and also the shoulder blades as well. So when you're ready, we're going to grab our lacrosse ball here. You can use a tennis ball as well, any kind of rolling item that you like to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my hips up and place it right below onto the glute muscle here. So I'm going to show you some progressions that you can do. So this is first progression. I want the lacrosse ball onto a muscle, by the way. So if my hip bone is up here, I'm going to place it just below that onto actual muscle there. Now this is first progression. You can hang out here and just move your hips, roll over it left and right like this. So I'm just kind of moving my hips left and right. Now, if you need a little bit more weight or pressure, what you can do is that leg is going to just get into a figure four position here. So an ankle is on top of the knee now. And then I'm just going to be moving left and right as well. So right now we're targeting the glutes. So that's the muscles surrounding our hips. Once again, I am moving left and right. You can move the ball a little higher or lower onto the muscle. Main cue here is we just don't want it onto the bone. And then once you find a spot here, we're just going to hang out and hold. And breathe. So because we started a little behind today on my end, I'll try my best to get us out of here on time. We may go over about a minute or so. So if you do have to take off at the end of class, thanks for joining, but we may go over a minute or so, but I'll try my best to keep it in that time frame. And I'm just angling my body just a little bit here. And I'll breathe and relax. Great job, everyone. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to our start position. So my back is flat, my feet are flat. Now I'm taking this lacrosse ball and I'm going to place it on the other hip here. So I'm raising my hips. I'm just going to lower down and I'm just going to hold and breathe. Now, first progression is where we are at right now. So my hips are down, my feet are down, and second progression was where I get that ankle on top of that knee, right? So go ahead and choose whichever progression you like. And then once you are set, you're just going to move left and right onto the muscle. So I'm just kind of tilting, going back to the center. I could definitely tell that my right side is a bit more sensitive than the left side today. So it's good that I am instructing in this class today. I get a nice little release in myself. Hope you are as well. So right now I'm moving in about 10 seconds. We're going to find an area and that we feel is, pretty sensitive or feels pretty good, whichever you feel. And once you're there, you're just going to apply your weight. So go ahead and find that sweet spot. And then we're just going to hold. You can see although I'm centered, I am kind of angling a little bit. That helps me to apply a little bit of weight and pressure. You don't need to. I know for this area, though, it feels good when I apply just a little bit more pressure. That's just personal. But if it gets too much, we don't want it to be too uncomfortable. So we're just going to hold and breathe. Once again, I'm just finding that sweet spot and I'm just holding and applying my weight down onto that glute muscle, not the bone, on the muscle. And recover. Nice work, everyone. Nice work. All right. So we're going to stay in the same position here, and we're now going to be moving up. We'll start here on the lats and then get a bit more into the rhomboids. So you can lay down, but I just want to kind of demonstrate. So if I'm sitting up here, basically the lat muscle, if I were to bring my arm up, it's all of this wing muscle here. It goes from the armpit down to the mid back right here. And so if this is muscle that we want, and that's where we want the lacrosse ball. We don't want it to be directly on the spine, right in the middle. So just find an area here where it's muscle, and you're just going to lay onto it. So if I get here, I'll apply my lacrosse ball right onto the muscle. And then I'm just going to hold and breathe. So once I have that set, I can angle a little bit left, keep myself in the center. It's a large muscle, by the way. The lat goes, like I mentioned, from the armpit all the way down and attaches towards those lower back muscles, right? So it's a pretty large muscle, and we want to keep it on muscle, not on the spine and not directly on the shoulder blade or anywhere there. So feel free to move as needed. And then once you've found a spot, you're just going to hold and breathe. Think about every time you inhale, you're not only expanding your abdominals, your stomach area here, but also the sides and your lower back is all expanding 360 degrees, right? And so you pushed into that tennis ball, lacrosse ball, whatever you might have. If you like to give yourself a little bit of a hug here, you can do so as well. That also opens up the muscle a little bit more. And slowly recover, everyone. Great job. We're going to go ahead and switch sides now. All right. So I've got lacrosse ball, and I'm going to place it on the other side now. Once again, the lat muscle is where we want it. So that's pretty much where the muscle connects from the armpit all the way towards the lower back. We do not want that lacrosse ball onto the spine or directly on our shoulder blade. And we're just holding and breathing. Once again, if you want to give yourself a hug, you can. Yeah, my right side is super sensitive today. It's not like where it's feeling any major discomfort, but it's like almost the the ticklish, the tickle sensitivity where it's a little ticklish. And I'm just breathing and moving. And we'll slowly recover. Great job, everyone. All right. Last but not least, we're going to move upwards into the rhomboid. So for this one here, we're going to lay down again. But if you were to look right here, this muscle that connects to the neck here, this is a large piece of meat. This is our traps, right? And then right below that in the middle right here are going to be the rhomboids. So if my shoulder blades are right behind me like this, the muscles are the ones that are right in the middle connecting to here. So let's see if I can just kind of demonstrate. So this is the big one right here, right? We can all feel that's where we get a lot of stress too. And then right, if you go a little lower in the center, these muscles here, it's a bit more of the rhomboid. So still high up here, this is the area that we're trying to target. But we're trying not to hit too much onto the bone of the shoulder blade, right? So it's gonna be right here in the middle. We'll start one side, and then we'll just go to the other side here. So let's go ahead and try that out. And I'm actually just gonna quickly check on my time just because I don't have my timer. Okay, this will be the last one that we have, everyone, before we end class. Thanks for sticking around. So I'll place that lacrosse ball there, and then I'm just going to hold and breathe. So for me, it's on the more left-hand side right now. You can give yourself a hug, same as before. You can leave your arm down like this. And then you're just going to hold and breathe. Sometimes I like to angle, a little left, little right. So all of these, by the way, that I just showed you, let's just say if the weight was a bit too much here, laying down, depending on what you have, a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, you can do all of these against a wall as well. So everything that I showed you today, you can do it standing against a wall. And then the floor would, which we are doing today, you know, you have a little bit more weight down. So if this was a little too intense, you can do exactly what we did, the same routine, just against a wall. And we'll slowly recover. Nice work, everyone. Switch sides here. So it's basically just literally maybe an inch over to the opposite side. And then this will end class. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. I apologize for the delay today, but I hope you enjoyed these 3 areas that we targeted. Oh yeah, and see, this right side must have got messed up on me the other day because everything from top to bottom is way more sensitive. But for your reference, the first one that we did was the glute muscles, right? The second area, those are called the lat muscles or your wing muscles. And then of course, this one that we're hitting is the rhomboid near the trap. The trap area and the rhomboids are known for, you know, holding on to your stress area. So if you're very stiff there. And then glutes, you know, those hip muscles, they get very tight just from being seated positions for too long. So I want to say most of us have those areas that we want to address. So glad I got to show you some of those today, just to be aware of those muscles and what they do and how they get targeted from just what we do every day. About 5 more seconds here, everyone. Take one more big breath in, big breath out, and recover. Whew. Nice work, everyone. That's our release class for today. Thanks for joining. If you had any specific questions on those 3 areas, or if you wanted to watch this again, this is recorded. That'll be on our YouTube channel. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and you feel a little bit less stressed. Try this out again if you need to after class. But we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. All right. Great job, everyone.